So, welcome back to another video. This time I'm not holding the mic. Right now I don't have a mic cover. I do need to get one, but just to make it so that you don't have to hear like the P's, the T's very loudly when I speak, I'm gonna distance myself from the mic and just speak kind of like into a camera like this. Yeah, unfortunately, I was impacted by the recent tech layoffs. Not a positive experience, but it's something that I'm moving through. It's something that I'm taking in stride, and I'm doing my best that I can to stay positive, to stay motivated for my next adventure. And I just want to start by saying that if you are someone who has been impacted by this, you know, my first and number one concern, and I would say even priority for this particular community, is that you get what you need in terms of physical needs first met, right? Make sure you have some type of stability, income wise, housing wise, food wise. The second is that you get the mental and emotional help that you might need. And that's, if you have a therapist or someone you can confide in, that's definitely something that's of utmost importance. And then the third is that you get that social support. You're not going through it alone. There's a lot of people who have also been impacted and who have worked maybe even longer than I have. I know that when I was on the call for the layoffs, there was someone who had actually worked for like 20 something years on a project. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, making sure that you are safe and you are taken care of is definitely the first priority. It started out as a regular work day with an ad hoc meeting scheduled for 10 a.m. And much of us didn't know what to make of it. We were like, oh, well, it's an ad hoc meeting. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not. Some people again skipped to go to stand up because they didn't know that it was a layoff experience. But when you looked at the invite list, you could see, okay, some the CVP is coming, some other higher up from HR is coming. This doesn't look like a normal meeting, at 10 a.m. in the morning. This is not your normal meeting. And it was indeed a layoff. They got straight to the point, which I can respect. They didn't try to cut around the corners. But I do think that, we're told to give 2 weeks notice, and I would expect at least a company give us 1 week, or something. I think an ad hoc meeting in the morning isn't the best way to let someone know, but it's what happened. And so we immediately were told, like, this is your termination as of today. Um, you don't need to work on anything else. Make sure you hand off everything and turn in your tech by the end of the week. And at that point in time, you lose access to everything. And I was like, wow, they move fast. Um, and that was it. I'm not going to complain too much. When we work at these bigger corporations, we're selling our talent, which is coding software, to these companies, and they're paying us to work on their products, and the management of everything else that happens behind the scenes, usually with the people who are the funders of whatever, they're making those decisions. They're outside of our books. But what I do want to say is, as a developer, it's super empowering to take back my interest and my passion in technology and push it wherever I want to go without having to feel the pressure of deadlines, without having to feel the pressure of a particular technology, and really just explore my interest and passion on its own. Build what I want without any influence in that regard. And I think tech has always stood out to me in that way because it has that spirit and its roots. When we look at stories like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they came from their college dorms, so to speak, or Steve Jobs in a very non traditional route into tech to create empires that are today. But it didn't start as it was today. And what I like about tech is it allows for you to dive deep in those grassroots experiences. Experience AI, build your own chatbot, whatever you want, and continue to grow your skills and your interest in the field. And hey, you might even build the next revolutionary app. So my mind is on moving forward. It's not on looking back. It's not necessarily on getting hard at this current moment. It's on building my skills, refining my passion in technology, and re-cementing my interest in this field. I think we give our heart and souls to these companies, and when we're just tossed aside in this manner, it can do a lot to impact, our how we feel about our skills and abilities. I know I was hurt for a good day or two, and then I was like, we got to find a way to move forward, and that's what I'm doing now. If you're in the greater Washington area, hit me up. I'm going to be doing some Saturday meetups, actually Eventbrite because it's free to make meetings. And I'm basically going to try to teach the standard, which is a coding paradigm of architecture or architecture paradigm for coding. I'm also going to be doing resume reviews on Fridays for free, streaming that on Twitch. There's going to be more links to come, but I will be doing that if you are interested in finding a tech role or figuring out how to navigate that, as well as asking me any questions on how to pass tech interviews and all that. I'm not an expert. I'm going to be pulling from a lot of different sources, but I hope to be a resource there. On Thursdays in the greater Seattle area, tech interview prep. So that's just going through cracking the coding interview, freshening up on leak code, solving problems together, trading off ideas. And yeah, I want to benefit this community as much as it's benefit me. And I think that also this is not the end of your journey. This is the start of it. So wherever you are, if you were impacted, even if you're not impacted and you're still working at the 9 to 5, I feel for you. Right now, there's a lot of grieving, and I think it's okay to give yourself a day, a week, 2 weeks. Take some time for yourself. You know, I think the most important thing right now is you. Take care of yourself. Make sure you are good mentally, physically, and emotionally. And, I also wrote an article about this on Medium. I'll put that link down below if you're interested in reading that article. It's just a simple self-care tips for anyone who's been laid off, stuff that I've actually personally used myself, and hopefully it can benefit anyone else. So yeah, that's me, and signing out, but not signing off.